Hey guys, what is going on? This is Ip of RageQuitTV, going to be casting a game between NFT's very own Breach, and this is the highest rated Hungarian player currently on the EU ladder, and he is going up against Mil.Stephano, who many people say, even the Koreans say this, that he is the best foreigner around right now. This guy just does not lose unless he is going up against TSL's Polt, and then Polt seems to have his number. Stephano may have a mental block against him, or maybe Polt is just that good. Definitely an underrated player. The map is Cloud Kingdom. I'm very curious what we're going to be seeing here because Breach, he is up for a challenge. As I did say, Stephano, he just does not lose. We do have him throwing down a 10 supply depot right here. Very common to start walling off against Zergs, and Stephano sending his overload out. You can see it is going off a little to the side because if he tries to go straight up the middle, a Marine will come out and take it out. This path is relatively safe, I believe, for the overload to take to just get behind here, and this will tell him the expansion timing. However, the Overlord can't safely really see any Terran buildings, so he won't know what the gas looks like in the main base, and that is a little bit difficult. I'm really curious on how Stephano positions his Overlords. The second one most likely is going to be going down here just to help him spot against any bunkers, as he is going to be going for a 15 hatch, and that is a hatch first. It is ZVT, so you always see that hatch first, and Breach going to immediately wall this off, and that SCV is going out to scout after he lets the depot get a little bit of health. And I have seen players actually just tap that supply depot, then walk away, and the scouting worker goes very, very close to killing it. I'm just waiting for the day that a scouting worker takes out a depot because the Terran player just did not let the SCV build it at all, and it only had like 20 HP, so like 4 or 5 zaps, and poof, there goes the depot. But Breach is going to be coming in, and he does see Stephano going for this hatch first. The Overlord still has not made it to the position he wants, and Stephano completely in the dark right now. He is going for a spawning pool and gas, and the SCV does see that, and really doesn't really have too much information from this. We do have Breach with his one Marine out here just in case the drone tries to come. He can try to take the drone out before it gets up here and sees anything. The second Marine going to be coming out, and that will mean that Stephano can no longer scout Breach. Bunker is being built. Stephano does see this, has pulled 2 and actually 4 drones, but his hatch just about done, so this looks like it is the transfer. Pulls quite a few drones, kills that SCV, and nice from Breach, just trying to get that SCV to run around, but can't complete the bunker, and Stephano immediately stops. Just checks. I don't know what that one drone was doing. Maybe he thought he had the Overlord selected and just moved his drone by mistake. Not a big deal. The bunker does get canceled. We do have Marines now moving out across the map. 2 Marines, so actually 3 Marines going to hold this one watchtower. Breach is going for a double gas with a command center right now. And this is definitely a very, very odd build by Breach. Just because what is he going to use this double gas for with this very quick expansion? Probably a fast factory. But this is something that Stephano will not expect after seeing Breach land his command center right here. He will not expect a immediate tech up to whatever he is going. Could either be Blue Flame Hellions or Banshees. That one link is going to go down. Keep in mind the Marines on this one watchtower just to ensure Stephano cannot get any scouting whatsoever. Bunker going to be placed right here with just 1 Marine in it, and a gas is going to be taken here. And this may be a little bit of a tell. We do have the Overlord going to be seeing this one gas, so now Stephano knows his opponent is going for something relatively gas-heavy as he sees he sees 2 gases down here. And Stephano, his eye may be, like, going up, just thinking, okay, that is new, because I've actually never seen a Terran player do this. Really wants that gas. The factory is being built. He is getting a reactor on it, but he's not producing another factory, and it has the minerals and gas, so I'm guessing he is going to be doing a double port Banshee immediately and using Hellions just to slow down Stephano, try to force a Spine Crawler or anything he can. Stephano is going for a Roach Warren just because he sees this double gas at the natural, knows the Terran player is just teching up like crazy to do this, but also this would be a sick mind game if Breach didn't get the gases in the main. and just got both gases down here, so it looked like he was teching up, but he really wasn't. But of course, we are the observers, and we can see he is indeed going to be doing a triple port build, and that is definitely a little bit odd. He can build 3 Banshees at a time. Each gas does mine a little over 100 gas per minute. A Banshee has a build time of a minute, so basically Banshees do eliminate 1 gas. So Breach, while he will be able to keep up with the Banshee production, he won't have gas to do anything else. We do have that 1 link going to be going down, and those Hellions are going to be able to see the roaches. I don't know if he saw all the lings running by. We'll see what he ends up doing. He does have 2 Marines in that bunker, 1 Marine on this watchtower, and now Breach knows exactly what he's up against, and he's got to get that wall up, and he is going to repair this wall, but I don't know if it will be able to get repaired. Stephano most likely will be able to bust this wall with how many roaches he does have. This is 7 roaches and a metric ton of Zerglings, but we do have 2 Hellions behind the wall to take out those Zerglings. We do have Stephano focusing on the bunker, but so many SCVs repairing that. The Roach is making a small mistake and not killing off the SCVs, but it looks like he's going to power his way through, and that bunker does fall. And now we do have Breach going to be pulling on back. Stephano has busted the wall. Those Lings going to be hanging back just because there are enough Hellions to easily kill them. Roach is going to come up and go for wall part 2. Those SCVs are on auto repair as this command center is going to be lifting off, and we do have the first Banshee out. Second Banshee is almost out. And this will eventually repel Stephano's attack, but Breach losing 4 supply depots and a bunker. Definitely has lost a lot right now going into this resources lost, but Stephano, he did sacrifice some. Maybe he did. It's 19 SCVs to 59 drones right now. And this Banshee is saving the day. Breach is now going to be able to mine. We do have a triple port Banshee build on the way. And with mules, a mule and a gas pretty much can build a Banshee, I think, every minute. So he is going to be able to keep up on this Banshee production, even though he doesn't have any workers, with 2 mules always being out. That is 2 Banshees. And then with his few number of workers, he may actually be able to keep up on this Banshee production just barely. We'll keep an eye out to see if it's constantly up at 3. And there are 3 Banshees out and a bunch of Hellions moving out across the map. Stephano does have a bunch of Lings. He is not getting a Baneling's Nest, and that may be a little bit of a mistake just because Breach is going to be getting a wall up yet again. And you saw how long it took Lings and Roaches to bust that down. If he just has a few Banelings, that helps immensely. And the Banshees are going to come in. There are Spore Calls because Stephano, of course, knew about the Banshees. But that is definitely 4 Banshees from Breach, and 4 Banshees can take out a Spore Call. Some nice micro on these Banshees right now. Those Zerglings are going to be coming, and those Hellions do get surrounded and taken out. Absolutely no micro on them. While this Banshee is going down, Breach is still producing 3 Banshees at a time, so he can keep up on this production. But Stephano going to be going for this wall, and Breach is pulling off his SCVs to repair this, and that is a lot of Lings on this. Will the depots fall? It looks like Breach can barely just defend this. And think if he had Banelings, that wall would be taken out. Meanwhile, we do have 4 Banshees now going to be harassing a little bit on this 3rd base. That Spore Killer goes down instantly. Those Banshees take out the Queen. Meanwhile, over in Breach's base, we do have the barracks almost falling, but SCV's going to be swapping on over to that. And Breach can no longer keep up that Banshee production because he's spending all of his minerals on the wall. And it looks like the wall is almost going down. This one Marine is taking the spot of an SCV. He does get moved back, and the wall still on the way down. This 3rd base does fall to those 4 Banshees. And a mule going to be landed to keep on repairing. And that barracks just going to be living barely. Oh my god, that is down to 70 HP. But now Breach has swapped over to it. And he is running low on minerals. That repair cannot go on forever, but that Ling count has gone down tremendously. The wall goes down. Lings do get back into this mineral line. SCV is going to keep on repairing. Try to get those supply depots back up. Meanwhile, we do have 4 Banshees going off in this main base. Spore Callers are on the way over. We do have 2 Queens to deal with 4 Banshees, or 3 Banshees now. That is not enough, and we do have 3 Ravens now being produced by Breach. And he is going to Sky Talon play with extremely low econ, 22 SCVs going into this Workers Killed Stephano has killed 18 SCVs, while Breach has killed 11 drones. And going to this Banshee, 11 kills, 17 kills, 39 kills on that Banshee. Thanks to him just picking off Lings all day. Some nice micro on those Banshees, but losing one of them, so maybe it's not so nice. However, so many Banshees, and another Banshee does go down. Nice target fighting from Stephano right now. Another Banshee does fall, but there we go. No more anti-air left from Breach. And Breach is going to be taking out Stephano's base. And a Spore Caller going to be moving along the way. A Queen is going to be going to work on the Banshee. Banshee is trying to get micro back with one hit left before he goes down. 2 HP left on that. Gets a cancel off that one Spore Caller. Has to take this one out. Again, that one Banshee so low just goes down to a hit from the Queen. 3 Ravens now coming across the map. We do have a few Lings right here, but the wall with a few Hellions will be enough to deter those Lings, I think. Yeah, the Lings see that immediately go away. We do have the 2 Banshees now finding Stephano's new third base. And with these 3 Ravens, going to be landing not point defense turrets, auto turrets. That hatch is going to go down very, very quickly. And now going back into the production, we do have a Banshee, 2 Vikings, and 2 Hellions with the eBay, but Stephano now going for mutas. Those mutas are going to be coming out, and Breach has no real anti-air. His anti-air right now, 2 Vikings, going to be 5 Vikings, and a handful of Ravens. And those Banshees do not have cloaks, so they have no escape. Those auto turrets going to go to work on an egg, but that will not be enough. They do decent damage, and the muta loses about 100 HP, I think. Oh, not 100. Like 10, maybe that is. And that hatch does get canceled by the Banshees. Yet again, Stephano is forced to play on 2 bases. Stephano stacking so many minerals. I have never seen Stephano stack so many minerals before in my life. But that's not because he is flustered. That's because he doesn't have the larva right now, because he keeps losing bases left and right. You can see his queens. They are relatively low on energy, and also he is losing the queen, so he really just doesn't have any larva. We do have 5 Vikings to deal with the 6 mutas, and a Hunter Seeker Missile, or actually just Seeker Missile nowadays, is being produced. We do have Stephano getting upgrades, and this is something that Breach cannot do, because, well, all his gas is going into units. He doesn't have the gas left over to build anything else. But here we go. The SCVs have been pulled. He has 37 SCVs out, and how many has he pulled? It looks like 10. So pulling, I'd say, about a third, maybe like a fifth of his SCVs, or a quarter of the SCVs, to go and pressure Stephano. Stephano does have a handful of units, and those SCVs may not do all that much, as there are so many Lings out, and the Hellions not getting microed. We do have the Vikings trying to take out the mutas with all these point defense drones going on. The mutas cannot deal with the Vikings, and that is actually relatively interesting. But with all these Spore Callers here, those Banshees just are not in the numbers to take them out. We do have Breach moving on over to the natural, but Stephano going to be moving these Spore Callers on over. And now that one overload going to go down so quickly. And now Breach now in this natural air, but a few Spore Callers did get moved over. And Vikings are doing a little bit of stutter stepping. Isn't that cute, Vikings? But it's wrong. You guys are not Marines. And Vikings gonna eventually maybe take out the mutas. Auditor's going down to help them. And yeah, the mutas do get pushed back. And if anyone knows what reference that was, isn't it cute, but it's wrong? Oh man, you are an oldie like me. What a good cartoon back in the day. And I know many of you are probably just thinking, what the heck is he talking about? But we do have Breach going to be coming in here. He does have 3 Banshees with these Ravens. Doesn't have enough for a point defense drone, so I don't think the Banshees can really kill the Spore Callers, especially because one is moving back. But these Vikings are dealing quite well with the mutas thanks to these point defense drones, and that is definitely a new one for me. I never thought I'd see the day where Vikings just deal with mutas, no problem. Well, maybe it's a problem. He only has 3 Vikings. This is the problem with playing this style. If Stephano manages to get infestors out and fungal growths like right there when everything's clumped, it's game over. Those Banshees take a minute to be produced. This is slower to reproduce than mech. So if any point in time Breach is going to lose his army, then that's game over because he cannot reproduce his army. The Raven, a full minute. Vikings, I think 40-some seconds. Banshee, a full minute. And Battle Cruisers, oh my god, how long is that? A minute and a half. Vikings are 42 seconds. So, yeah, like I said, this army, it can't really die. If it does die to something silly like a fungal growth, that's game over. It is so risky playing Sky Terran. And against Protoss, all they have to do is toilet your air army once, and it's dead. I mean, you cannot reproduce this. So, Breach, go into this loss tab, you can see he is being very, very effective because he has to. He cannot lose units just because it just takes forever to reproduce them. Stephano does have Banelings now. He is not getting Baneling speed. We do have Blue Flames on the way to deal with those Lings. It looks like Hellions going to do a little bit of harassing. Going to this Workers tab, it is 40 SCVs to 58 drones. In the collection, we can see that Breach really low on minerals, but doesn't look like he has any mules coming out. And we are 22 minutes in the game, and these patches still like have a lot of minerals. Like this one has 1,000 minerals left on the natural. At 22 minutes of the game, those Hellions are going to be getting surrounded, taken out, and going to the Workers killed. We do have 28 SCVs versus the 18 drones. And that is a lot of Ravens. And they have a Hunter-Seeker missile, and oh my god, nice detonation on the Banelings. Taking that down to 3, but that's still enough to bust a hole in the wall, and the Lings are going to be going up into the main. This one supply depot does not get lifted. And look at how many supply drops have been used by Breach. Almost every supply depot now has a supply drop on it. And the Vikings and Ravens are hunting down the Mutas while the Hellions are trying to deal with the Lings. The Hellions are down. And we do have an auto turret down here denying this one base just on top of where the hatch wants to go. 3 supply depots. The Hellions do get cleaned up. And Breach, again, not losing any of the air, and that is good as he does have a BC out on the map. Going into Stephano's vision, he does know about the fusion core, and he is getting a bunch of Hydralisks. And I don't know if that's the right idea. Maybe if he just massed Corruptors and killed everything, then it would be game over. If Stephano ever gets air control, that is going to be game, unless Breach can pull off some 6-6 transition out of this. But I don't think this has a backup plan, but maybe it does. I've never seen it before in my life. A lot of Vikings and Ravens about to clash against these Mutas and Hydras. Of course, the point defense drone being worth its weight in gold, stopping the air army from getting hit. We will see point defense drones go up. And now going to these Vikings and Banshees, you can see nothing really ever taking damage. Seeker missile used on those Hydras. And it looks like Hydras don't get affected by point defense drone, which is why he's using the Hunter-Seeker missile. But the BC does fall. However, there are still not many Banshees, so we do have Breach moving on back. And Stephano still does not have an infestation, but I think he really needs one if he wants to deal with this composition. But maybe the Banshees will just do too well at taking them out. Breach still does not have Cloak. He did research the energy for... I don't know what he researched. Maybe that's Yamato gun? Oh, what is... No, it's not Yamato. That's here. He's missing something, and I don't know exactly what he is missing on those upgrades. Doesn't have Cloak. Oh, he got Seeker Missile. Don't see it that long. That's how often I see Seeker Missile. I don't even know what slot it is in that tech lab, but that is the one he did research. These Blue Flame Hellions are going to do fairly well against the Hydras, and also very well when they go to harass bases like this. Stephano, though, already lining up his drones as they do run away. Lings are coming, and the drones look like they really won't go down. 2 fall there, and that is not worth 4 Hellions, especially when Stephano has this type of econ versus Breach. But Breach still not mined out of his natural. And that is something I have never seen at 26 minutes. Even his main has 2 mineral patches left. We will see Breach, though, trying to take his 3rd base relatively soon. Stephano does have a Ling right here. And Breach right now looks like he is just trying to max out on army and just go for some type of death ball that I cannot even comprehend. Taking a siege up on the high ground. This command center is going to be landing. And the supply still 117 to 141, so it is not that bad considering that Breach is now finally taking his third base about 30 minutes into the game. Going over into this lost, we do see Breach being very cost-effective, losing around 13k minerals to Stephano's 20k. Stephano going to be taking another base way over here. Hellions just patrolling around the map, taking control of that watchtower, not leaving one on that, and that may be a mistake. It is always nice to have Hellions on the watchtowers, or just something on the watchtowers. It doesn't have to be a Hellion. We do have the Hellions now going to be scouting this one base and going to be attacking it a few times, but Lings will be coming in. Stephano does have Infestors out now. Funger's going to go on a few Hellions, and now to get behind the middle line. But he just cannot take out any drones. Stephano only losing 20 drones so far. And I think he lost 18 the last time I said that. So a very nice job by Stephano defending against those Hellions. We do have Breach going to be taking another base. And the starport's going to be doing something. The factories did take all their tech labs, and he is producing tanks and Thors and everything else in between. And it's 143 supplied to 161, so it looks like Breach is, just going to be turning this up. Realized, okay, I can't really do damage, and he is just going to try to get to 200 and win the game with a death ball. Lots of Infested Tannins are going to be coming down, but all these Ravens going to come. And Seeker missiles going off on Infestors, it looks like. And this one's still at 200 energy. We'll see exactly what he ends up doing. Is he just going to fall? And Lings at the same time running by into the main. And are going to be taking out some tanks. Keep in mind, 1-0 upgrades versus the 2-2. And looks like Breach is actually ahead in supply right now. Hydras are going to be taking out that one gas. Breach trying to mine off it for the last second. And Hydras do very well at dying, apparently, as Stephano did lose the supply lead, but is going to be maxing out relatively quickly. Or not maxing out, but just rebuilding quickly. He is building 16 drones right now. He knows that Breach doesn't really have too much that can attack the ground. He's got a handful of tanks, which won't do good against mass Lings. His Ravens count did go down. His Banshee count is none. And, he knows he is relatively safe, so he is just maxing on drones. He is going up to 73 drones, and finally Breach may do damage. Oh, maybe not. 4 Hellions do come, but a Fungal Growth does land on them with 2 Hydras doing a very nice job. 2 drones fall for 4 Hellions when there's only 2 Hydras and an Infestor hanging out. Queen is going to be coming. The 1 Hellion does get back here, but Queen does take out the Hellion, so very, very nice control by Stephano right there. And that is why Stephano just doesn't lose games. His map awareness is top-notch. You just do not sneak anything past him. And has a lot of larva out and morphing in Broodlords. 45 larva, 5 Broodlords on the way, and Breach, he is building Vikings and Ravens, so he may have enough to deal with this. Going into the corrupt account, it is only 6, and Fest account is at 5. But to deal with the Broodlords, Breach is going to have a lot of micro APM and splitting up all his air units because they do love clumping. And we all know Infestors love clumped up units, and Breach can be bringing, again, a few in SCVs, quite a few of them actually. It looks like 12 SCVs out of his 40, so over a quarter of SCVs have been pulled. But here we go, you can see him clumping up all of his air units, has to start splitting them up, and there you go. See him trying his best to split them up. Stephano is going to be coming in here. Seeker Missile does go off on those Broodlords, but all the Vikings have been fungled. Stephano does not have enough to chain fungal them. And these Vikings could be doing a lot more to take out that one Broodlord that is left. But there are Spore Crawlers that are going down, so Breach is going to be moving on across the map. Does have SCVs to repair his mech army, which is very important to get these Vikings repaired, just because, as I did say again, he cannot really reproduce, especially because he doesn't really have an income. Looking at that. And Breach with his strategical positioning, not really focusing on taking this out, and that may be a mistake. Splitting up his army, and he is the Grand Master. And a few SCVs do get taken out, but he is still repairing that tank, and Stephano going to be pulling his drones again while morphing in 2 Broodlords, but that is a handful of Vikings. And 2 tanks going to just finish the job on this one hatch. It would be even quicker if he unsieged that. They do higher DPS when out of siege to single target armored units. That one hatch does fall, but Stephano does have plenty more. He is putting one down here. And because of how immobile Breach's army is, he may be able just to keep building hatches absolutely everywhere. But Breach does have that army supply lead right now at 80 to 55. But Stephano again does have that econ lead, so Breach has to do something very quickly. However, he is just falling back. And he only killed 8 drones in that, so he better not fall back. Because while he did kill off 2 bases, that's kind of like a false sense of security. Because he didn't kill any drones. The econ for Stephano in about 15 seconds is going to be the same as it was just a minute ago. So Breach is going to be moving in. Looks like he is just going the safe way off of that creep. That was a smart move by him. But all of the Vikings clumping up, I really don't like that. 1 fungal growth, and that will be lights out for them. We do have 2 Ravens going to put Seeker missiles back on those Broodlords, doing some massive damage. They're still going to help out on those Corruptors. Vikings, though, do get fungled, and they are almost going down. He is targeting the Broodlords right now, which may be a mistake. If he kills all the Corruptors off, then the Broodlord's no longer a threat. And Breach losing a lot of his army there. He does drop in the supply. Tank's going to be sieging back up to take out this base, but Stephano, is he going to be rebuilding a base over here? I'm surprised he isn't already. But in his defense, he is strapped for resources, doesn't have gas at this base yet, and that is definitely a mistake by Stephano. And Breach, can he do it? His Viking count has gone down, but he is rebuilding it. He is up to 9 Vikings. And Lings are coming in, and there's tanks out of siege mode, but we do have tanks doing a little bit of stutter stepping, try to do as much damage as possible. Miss Micro right there, and those Lings may be able to finish the job. No, 2 tanks do live. But oh man, did he lose a lot right there. But if he takes out this base by Stephano, Stephano won't have any econ for another minute. So he's just got to take that base out. He is bringing a few Hellions on over, but there is 1 Broodlord. And that is all to defend against these Hellions. So those Hellions may be able to take out a lot of drones. Fungal growth, no, Infested Terrans coming out. And the drones do burrow. But because Infested Terrans are out, he can still kill drones by attacking the Infested Terrans. And that is a little bit cute. 1 Hellion out, and oh man, got all those drones clumped up, but the Broodlord does come and kills that off. Stephano is at 3-3 on his air upgrades, while Breach is at 0-0, and that is going to make all of the difference in those air-to-air fights. Especially with Stephano having the fungal growths. Breach, he's going to have the sickest Seeker missiles, which is something I never thought I would be saying. But here we go, he is back in this middle line, trying to do as much damage as possible with that fungal growth and Broodlord. Doing quite a bit of damage. Breach with some nice tugging on the drones. Stephano turning around, getting the surround off, enough to take out the Hellion. And now he has got another base up, and this makes it very hard for Breach, because now he's got 2 bases he has to take out if he wants to stop Stephano's income. But he is going to be mining off 2 bases of his own. We do have 2 Lings taking out 1 of those mules, and now those Hellions are going to clean up that Ling. But the upgrades, oh my god, the upgrades. Only 1 O on the mech, and that is all. But a lot of drones right here, and Lings are coming. He does throw the scan, and those drones are lined up. Stephano going to unburn, and somehow does get away, but the Hellions do catch back up and take out a lot of drones right there. Meanwhile, we do have 2 Hellions over at this base, but all the drones are burrowed. Hellion 1 kill, 0 kills, so it doesn't look like they have too many. Ling's going to be running into Breach's econ line. And 58 workers, or SCVs, have been killed, while Breach has killed 71 drones. The food supply lead does go to Breach right now at 97 to 67. But oh my god, fungal growth out of nowhere. Oh, that hurts. There goes like 5 Vikings. And then Festers are going to get taken out, but a lot of SCVs and another Viking do get taken out. And that does bring it down to 5 Vikings versus 8 Corruptors. And I think that is all Stephano may have needed. Hellion over here, but Stephano doesn't look like he's losing that many. We do have a lot of Hellions coming up, but Infestors unburrow and Broodlords are out, so that does force Breach to pull back. But he has lost the air battle. But he is transitioning into a ground army. Will that ground army be enough to take out the Broodlords? Stephano cannot get that many Broodlords up just because he doesn't have any gas. Because he has not got extractors at those bases. He is getting extractor at that base. Hellions do get phone growth. That phone growth just being worth its weight in gold. Vikings taking out the Broodlords because, well, he doesn't care about air anymore. But Stephano getting some transfuses off on those guys. And they are just staying alive at their +3 armor. And that Thor, he don't do anything to the Broodlords. Just tapping them. Look at this. Oh, Thor died before we could even look at it. And there goes the GG. Well played. Stephano going to be taking that game in one of the weirdest games I have seen in a long, long time. So my cast may have not been that good. I like analytical style, but sometimes the games just can't be analytical because things like that happen. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy that game thoroughly. I definitely did. And thank you to the user who recommended I cast that game. Definitely a good one. Going over to this APM tab, we do have Breach with a macro APM of 47. Stephano at 81. Micro for Breach 111 versus Stephano's 121. The redundancy at 41% for Breach. Stephano at 39%. EAPM 92 versus 122. Builds Tech, I guess we can look at this. 80 Corruptors, 49 Infestors, 50 Hydras, 55 Mutas, 282 Lings, 14 Roaches, 14 Queens, 310 drones, wow. Versus 23 tanks, 3 Thors, 1 BC, 53 Vikings, 12 Ravens, 15 Banshees, 116 Hellions, 5 Marines, and 94 SCVs. So 94 SCVs versus 310 drones, wow. This is the one I really want to look at. The ability groups just goes absolutely crazy. Oh my god. 26 Broodlord Morphs, 25 Fungals, 59 Infested Terrans. Versus 22 Seeker Missiles. 18 Scans. 4-point defense drones? That is it? Wow, I thought he used that a lot more. Really favoring the Seeker Missile once he got it over the point defense drone. That is definitely interesting. Unit tiers, don't even know what to say about this. So, we will move along. This is going to be absolutely horrendous. Stephano's injects. Are you guys ready for this? 45 seconds, but, up to the 10-minute mark. Before I think Banshees really came out, I think they hit like 9 minutes. Maybe a little later than that because he did go for the expansion. 9.2 seconds. So Stephano does... We'll look at his other games. Hopefully I won't spoil this too much because I really want to look at Stephano. Actually, we can do this without spoiling anything. Breach. Whoa, abort. That is... Oh, where's Stephano? Multi-replay analysis. How do I use this again? Stephano, open player. Development charts. Spawn lava. Okay, that's not telling me anything. Thought it was a good idea. Apparently, it is not. Replay search. Add folder. Okay, so let's go length, show time. Okay, injects. $10. We have 11.9. This is 9.9. So it looks like he hovers around 10 seconds on his average inject gap early on. 12. So yeah, he doesn't have the best injects early game. That is definitely a little bit interesting. We did see Damaga just a few days ago always have like 5 seconds at the 10-minute mark, which was really cool. Not too much going in that game. We will go to the Lost tab really fast. Lost. Let's go before he lost his Omi. Where did those Vikings die? This is right here. You can just see this Lost tab. Definitely pretty amazing. Losing so much less than Stephano. And then finally, we'll go over back into here. Breach. Endgame. Spent. You can see Stephano spending almost double. Actually, I think that may be double the minerals. Oh my god. 82k mineral spent for Stephano, 41k for Breach. Gas, over double, 14k for Breach, 39k for Stephano. And just to give you an idea, double of 14k is 28k. So, 150% more gas spent for Stephano, maybe 250%. Wow. Hope you guys enjoyed the cast. Take care.